I'll be back.
One of the shortest lines from modern cinema, yet definitely iconic. I'll be back. Indeed, Arnold Schwarzenegger has gone on to employ that phrase in many of his movies. And at one level, a Terminator is a typical action movie. Lots of fights, explosions and car chases. But at a deeper level, and this is especially true as the series develops, it is a morality tale that explores issues of good and evil, free will and fate. And it has some great one-liners. Here's a quick selection.
Come with me if you want to live.
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 Come with me if you want to not die.
Okay, so maybe the last one wasn't strictly canonical. But in the movies, it's an invitation to accept help, to escape certain death. And it's an appeal that I relate to as a Christian. You may not find that exact sentence in the Bible, but there is a repeated invitation for men and women to come back to God that they may find life. If you are unfamiliar with the Terminator series, here's a quick summary. In the near future, man succeeds in creating artificial intelligence. The robots and computers of this new age decide that man is superfluous, so they unleash all of the world's nuclear weapons and destroy most of mankind. In the decades that follow, the human survivors fight back under the leadership of John Connor and ultimately defeat their technological foes. And in the last-ditch stand, the machines utilize time travel to send back a Terminator android, that's Arnie, to kill John's mother, Sarah Connor, before he can be born. Now this fails, so in the sequel, the machines send back an advanced model of Terminator to kill John Connor while he's only a child. So the humans respond by sending back a reprogrammed version of the original Terminator, that's Arnie again, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now there are some notable parallels between the Terminator franchise and events in the Bible. I don't know if this is deliberate, I suspect not, but I find it interesting all the same. The key event in the movies is called Judgment Day, and that's when the machines ultimately unleash nuclear destruction and take out mankind. It's a phrase borrowed from the Bible, but the Bible's take on Judgment Day is quite different. It's quite deep and profound, and it's something that we are currently looking at in our Sunday preaching series on the book of Revelation. And you'd be very welcome to drop in any Sunday and find out some more. John Connor is marked for death because of what lies in store for him in his future. There's a similar parallel in the life of Jesus. Before Jesus was even born, prophets had predicted key events in his life. That's one reason why Herod attempted to slaughter him while he was only an infant. That's why the devil tried to persuade him to jump off the roof of the temple. If you can kill Jesus before he gets to the cross, then everything will have been for nothing. And the same is true, essentially, in the Terminator. James Cameron, the director of the first two movies, has some fun with the mechanics of time travel. Something to do with the energy fields employed. Well, people, or Terminators, can only jump through time naked. Now this does mean that you can't bring wads of cash with you. Neither can you bring sophisticated weaponry with you. And to some extent, I guess, it was an opportunity to show off Arnie's chiselled bodybuilder physique. But it also introduced some light comedy, as time travellers needed to source their clothing as quickly as possible. But you know, I think it also speaks to our human vulnerability. And this is an issue that goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. There's a verse in the Bible that's found in the book of Job. And Job says these rather profound words. He says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away." And you and I, we can become so hung up on our clothes, our possessions, our gadgets, our bank balance, our status and influence. But when we die, we can take none of it with us. Kind of begs the question, if you can't take it with you, then what is life all about then? I said earlier that the Terminator series serves as a morality tale about good and evil. And at first glance it would seem obvious that the humans are good and the Terminators are evil. Except that life is more complicated than that. In the movies, had the humans joined forces in cooperation against the various Terminators, each movie might have lasted maybe 15 minutes. Done. But instead, we see men and women consumed by their own self-serving passions and purposes. The muggers and the hard-drinking bikers. The gun salesman who's happy to sell on Uzis and machine pistols for self-defense. I know it's America, but even so. The lazy cops who prioritize coffee and donuts over solving the case. The psychologist looking to build his own career at the expense of his patients. The generals desperate to secure a military advantage, whatever the cost. And as we discover in the sequels, even Terminators can be reprogrammed to fight on the side of good. Machine versus machine, with the fate of mankind hanging in the balance. The question is, does mankind deserve to be saved? There's a reminder here that none of us is really good. It's so easy to compare ourselves with other people. Someone who's less honest, who's more violent, who's not as kind as we imagine ourselves to be. But the fact of the matter is that none of us lives up to our own ideals. And that is why we need God's help, His forgiveness, a fresh start, renewed purpose. Jesus said, "I have come that you may have life and have it in abundance. Come with me if you want to live." Well, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, or even better, share it with others. Until next time.